him.
Amazing.
They didn't want that. See, it was the fan support, the roars, the celebrities that came around, the dignitaries. Asha actually sang the national anthem and also did the Ogun State anthem, which they call Isheya, which means work don't start. It was beautiful performances from this. I wish Asha could do more. I'm a huge fan of Asha's kind of music, but in the end, it's been a great event until this point. Yeah, 1 or 2 here and there, but at the same time, it's really lived above expectation, if you ask me.
Nice.
The renovation of the MKO Abiola Sports Center, the Ogun Games has really lived up to this. This is the second time they are hosting, and I love the fact that they're also doing well, not just by hosting, moving closer to becoming the top team. They're just behind Delta. They're on third position right now. I think they're behind Delta and Bayelsa. So it's been a lovely event from starts, rounding off in 4 days. And basketball is in the final, which is one of the major reasons I had to be here. So we ran commentaries for the 2 games.
Oh,
and
nice.
man, I almost lost my voice, but thank God I still have it.
Sorry, man. I think, again, they say charity begins at home. So let's just look for charity where you are now. My regards to Charity and who else? Tolu and the likes, really. I'm just joking, trying to play around with the lady's name now. But let's start with the National Sports Festival before we go to the NBA. Which teams have gotten to the final of the basketball event?
Okay, it's now going to be Team Lagos against Team Ogun, the hosts.
Oh, nice.
Team
Shout out to Lagos! Oh, shit.
Team Lagos has nicked that one with 2 points. They played against Team Rivers, and Team Rivers surely will have some players from Rivers Supers. Then the rest, like this time. You know, they played the
Basketball
Africa League and got to the final. And a legend of the game who's been there for over 10 years now, Victor Coco, was the center for Team Rivers when the game kick-started. Nice. Team Rivers getting the first 6 points, Lagos responding with 16 straight points. The game actually ended 58-56. 2 points in favor of Team Lagos. It was battle till the end, and you get to see the way they celebrated. And one man was behind their celebration. I'm just looking at him in front of me right now. He just walked out of the stadium. Odumide Oyedeji,
nice.
One of the biggest names to ever play basketball for Nigeria. He's not the coach of the side. He's the vice president of the Lagos Basketball Federation. And he was really in support of the side, giving them that ginger, as we call it, to help them through. And we saw some very good basketball players from the Lagos team, I tell you, Chuma. I really was wild at the way they were doing dunks and scoring 3-pointers with ease. You must give it to that man, Victor. Talk about Tolani, the finest point guard I've seen so far in this basketball game. Scoring Sola was also instrumental. TBK, the 5 starters, Kareem, all of them had some good games. Chinedu also played a good basketball. And Victor Coco held his own, got about 7 to 8 points to his 9. His height really helped him as a center. And he was one of the guys who was bringing them back at every point in time they went back. And it was a street revenge for Lagos. Just to remind you, both of them played in the final last time out in 2022 at the Ogwa Stadium, what you know as the JJ Okocha Stadium. And Lagos lost that one by just 1 point, 69. And they say today, we die here. In that sense, nobody's going to die, and nobody died. So it was a wonderful game at the Alake Sports Center in Ogun State. But the one before now, 9th of pass, Chuma, now war. Oh, wow. It was the war between Team Adamawa and Team Ogun. Team Ogun getting to the final, and they won that one, nicking it in the dying minutes. What Team Ogun did was scoring the last 12 points of the game. So they won that one by 72 to 66. Imagine. It was just less than 2 minutes or just over 2 minutes left on the clock to finish the game. And what did we see? Team Ogun picked up from nowhere, got the motivation from the fans. And Team Adamawa also didn't lack fans in the support that he got today. Man, it was a game to behold. You cannot take your eyes off the screen at any point in time because you'll be missing stuff.
I'm happy to
see
hear
3 pointers you want to talk about. Is it the dunks? Man, it might not be a high-scoring game as we see in the NBA.
Yeah.
But Chuma, basketball at its best was seen from the Ogun boys. Is it worship you want to talk about? Is it Akinola you want to talk about? Some very wonderful basketball players, Nathaniel Damilare or Oluwaremi Kuti. Soji Ahmed was also instrumental for the side. Adama played some very good basketball. Obinna Godwin was the king of 3-pointers.
Okay.
And you could hear the fans saying, Mena Olamo, you know, that kind of a feeling. Because he was shooting a free will at the point. And Team Adama came back from 11 points after the first half. They took over the second half. They were crazy in the third quarter, led the third quarter. Was looking like they had won the game. although they were controversial calls. Just the same way Team Delta complained against Team Ogun yesterday. The coach was complaining everywhere on social media.
All right.
And we saw the same thing happen. You know, when the host is always there, there's always this emotional blackmail sometimes. But the referees will always have their errors. They are humans.
Yeah, they are really. And it also happens in the NBA as well, too. So we can look forward to the fact that we have a final between Lagos and Ogun State. And if you're listening to us right now, it's courtside on Nigeria Info. We're also streaming live on Facebook. Shout out to Femi Taiwo for that. So you can join us live on Facebook right now. I've used the word right now a few times already, or haven't I? And that's perhaps the excitement I have, knowing that Azubi Onicha is in Ogun State, covering the National Sports Festival and joining us on the show tonight. So you just heard that, Team Lagos against Team Ogun for the final of the men's basketball competition at the National Sports Festival. When will this final happen, Azu? When exactly?
Okay, so it should be tomorrow. We're waiting for the final date. Sometimes they give a date, but they want to do everything tomorrow so they can move everything that's left to the main bowl at the MCOABL, because it's a sports complex where you have different events going on at the same time. We've also experienced some other new games like Sobabula, one of the games rightly created right here in Nigeria. We're doing our own thing also. So they want to round off on all of those games. Track and field is also getting to the end. Football is also going to be played tomorrow. But I think basketball should be tomorrow. Once we get it. I've not gotten the exact time and day.
The good thing is, because we have you there, we're going to certainly share that final result as to Lagos Ogun. But shout out to Lagos one more time. Lagos in the final. You can call us and speak to us. We're streaming live on Facebook. It's Nigeria Info Space 99.3. That's Nigeria Info Space 99.3 on Facebook, and on YouTube, just search for Nigeria Info FM, Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. You can drop your comments on the comment section. I'll be taking a few of those thoughts of yours on this courtside show where we speak strictly about basketballing issues. That will take us to the NBA, the biggest basketball league in the world, because we're watching the finals for the respective conferences happen in the last 5-6 days or so, and these guys are battling for honors. Surely you want to speak about the brilliance of the Indiana Pacers, who have been trying to outpace their rivals in the final, but did not really play their way according to their star player. You know, he's the man who's been shining like a million stars for them, and the Pacers blew a 20-point first half lead and a chance to go 3-0 up in the series in the Eastern Conference Finals as they lost by 106 to 100 points to the New York Knicks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Sunday night, early hours of this morning, Nigeria timing. Tyrese Halliburton, who's an all-NBA guard, is one who was not too happy with the performance of his team, saying, hey, they let the opportunity of going ahead slip, and wasn't really that much of a thing of joy for him. So the lead now by 2-1, after game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's hear from the man himself. We'll speak.
So, interesting game, I tell you.
I'll just stick around. I'll just stay with me.
I did with you.
Yeah, let's hear from the Pacers star now. The guy they vex.
Okay.
Just talk to me.
Vex. I think I'm maybe the
man. We had some missed shots. 5 for 25 from 3. That's not ideal. I thought I gotta watch film to really see our offensive processes, what they really were. Felt like we got kind of stagnant on that end. Yeah, we'll see where we can get better. Watch film and be ready to go for Game 4.
What are you reading on the drive?
So that's the guy. Halliburton saying, hey, they will still try and get it right in Game 4 and Game 5. They still can wrap things up after Game 5 if they win the next 2 games, the Indiana Pacers, and they're trying to outpace their rivals in the Eastern Conference Finals. It looked like the guys who will be favorites on paper, but seeing the New York Knicks come back to nick it towards the end of Game 3 suggests that you don't want to write off the Knicks at this stage, right?
You cannot write them off. They were also a great competitor as far as this is concerned, and I tell you, we had a very fantastic game. Pascal Siakam did all he could, but it wasn't enough. One thing that worked for the Pacers, if you ask me, was the referee taking out that man, the evil boy amongst them, Jalen Brunson. It was a very, very good game, I tell you. Very, very intelligent game. He's now been the reason why they've been winning big games. But now, it's just like what was happening with the Golden State Warriors. He's the point guard of the side, for your information. Jalen Brunson has been wonderful. But you cannot carry the team alone. That's the challenge he has faced so far. So when he was taken out after 31 minutes of the game, after he had played 31 minutes rather, we saw the ball moving around. And we saw Karl Anthony Towns, the one who lost his mom during the lockdown, lost almost all his family during the lockdown, playing some very good basketball, scoring 24 points and 15 rebounds. So everything was shared equally. OG Anunoby, the Nigerian basketball player playing in the US, also got 16 points to his name. We saw Michael Bridges also getting 15 points.
Yeah.
So everything was shared. Jalen Brunson is still the best player for the side, and the fans screamed his name even after the game. They were really happy at his performance. Just 3 seasons with the side, coming there from Dallas Mavericks, and he's been one of the finest basketball players we know. I'm happy at the performance, but one thing they've got to learn is understand that just the way Steph Curry couldn't carry the whole team after he got injured, it was clear they have to stop depending so much on Jalen Brunson. That's the mistake some of these coaches make. The basketball has moved away from the small era to the big era, where you see the big boys playing the game, the centers and all. And you saw what Karl Anthony Towns did, dominating the game that had Pascal Siakam, who was the best player in the last game.
Yeah.
Dominating the game that had that man Tyrese at the bottom, the one they called the most of a hyped player. He scored 20 points in that game. And it was just about them coming back to win. You know what it is to come back from 20 points? First quarter, it was 30-26. Second quarter, it was 28-19. So put all of those points together. They were at some point in time after halftime, way behind. And they still came back. They were about 15 points behind. They increased it to 20 points, and they said, no way, we can still win this game. So the Knicks have got what it takes to make this one. But the Pacers look like they have it all balanced. And that's what the Knicks have got to work out. Not giving too much pressure to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
If you see the games, you understand what I'm talking about. Then it will be easier for them to get back. It's going to be really tough for the Knicks.
You're a legend, though.
The Pacers have an edge.
You're following National Sports Festival. You're running commentary for that one. You're also still having enough time to watch the NBA. Respect to you, my brother. Always.
I go live. I go live for you.
So later tonight in the USA, which will be early hours of Tuesday morning Nigeria timing by 1:30 a.m., we'll see Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder, right, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. At the moment, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder who lead the series 2-1. By the way, you can let us know as to the National Sports Festival. How happy are you as somebody who's listening to us in Lagos right now that Team Lagos are in the final of the men's basketball competition? They will take on the host Ogun. And do you think Lagos can get gold from basketball? I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Or you can drop it via the WhatsApp portal or using Facebook, where we're streaming live right now. Nigeria Info space 99.3 on Facebook. Or you can watch us on YouTube, just at Nigeria Info FM. I should be able to pick 1 or 2 calls before I and Azu wrap things up on courtside tonight. And also from the NBA too, what do you make of these finals in the Eastern and Western Conference? Let us know which teams you're rooting for to match on to the grand finale for the NBA for 2025. Which will come through from the Eastern Conference, which will come through from the Western Conference. I'd love to hear from you. So Azu, now your take on the Thunder, who at the moment lead 2-1 in the series against the Timberwolves.
That was a crazy performance from the Timberwolves to respond. How do you respond by winning by 42 points? Why didn't you share those points earlier on? This young man, the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is a crazy basketball player. Stood his ground again this time around, scored 30 points and had 9 assists, 9 rebounds and 6 assists against the NBA Player of the Season. Remember, it was declared earlier, late last week. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only got 14 points. And I'm going to put a shocker to you. I posted something on my status while this game was ongoing, just after the first quarter. Chuma, you know what happened?
It happened, I beg.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 16. He had 16 points. Anthony Edwards had 16 points after the first quarter. And guess what was the score for Oklahoma City Thunder? All of them put together had 14 points.
Wahala.
So he outscored the OKC. OKC had won game 1 and game 2, but this game 3 was more than a blowout. It was too much. Crazy. And that's what these guys have learned how to do. Use their home ground and play basketball so well. Chet Holmgren is doing the stuff. Isaiah Ettenstein, I've always said it, he might not be scoring, but there's an effect he has on that team. Just 6 points to his name. You also have Jalen Williams playing some good basketball, scoring 13. And AJ Michelle coming off the bench to score 14 for the Thunder. But it wasn't enough. So give it to Julius Randle, one of the finest hard players I have at this point in time, scoring points with his left hand and supporting that man, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is just 23. He's already doing what the big boys are doing. He's almost going to help his team get to win this title at the end of the day. Jenny McDaniels had 10 points to his name. Rudy Gobert was 7 points to win that game. Naz Reid was also good. So game 4 is also going to be a battle, a game to watch out for. I tell you, I don't know how this one is going to swing. It's looking like these guys have known how to do it in Minnesota, so they might win game 4 and it's now 2-2. But one thing that the OKC have as an edge is the fact that they have more games to play. Remember, they won the Western Conference, and they were the best team altogether.
4 home games now, right?
So they have 2 more. They have 2 more home games to play. While Minnesota also has 2 more to play.
It go too sweet. And I love the way things are playing out in the 2 conferences, really, where after game 3 is 2-1, meaning that nothing is done and dusted at this time. There's still so much to be fought for.
The home teams won their 2 games.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's get to the phone line to see if we can pick 1 or 2 calls just before we wrap things up together on courtside tonight. Zubike joining us from Ogun State, where he's covering the National Sports Festival, and also just told us earlier this evening, if you missed out on it, that Team Lagos will take on Ogun State in the men's final for basketball for the National Sports Festival after the wins for the Toosts in the semi-finals today. You can dial 0201-277-0993. That's 0201-277-0993. And let me know from the NBA Finals, Eastern and Western Conference, which teams are you rooting for? Oklahoma City Thunder leading the Timberwolves 2-1 after Game 3, with Game 4 taking place tomorrow morning, Nigeria timing, and also the New York Knicks having at this time a situation where they are trailing against the Indiana Pacers, who lead the series 2-1 after Game 3. How confident are you that Lagos can also go all the way to get gold in basketball for the men at the National Sports Festival? Hello, welcome.
Hello, Chuma, Mr. Azo, the 2 gentlemen, and the 2 wise men. I agree to now.
We greet you too. Welcome.
Yeah, in fact, I miss a lot of your analysis. I mean, the way you analyze things.
Thanks.
But to talk about the
Oklahoma City Thunder, Abi. OKC, yeah. Oh man, network. I'm so sorry, bro. Now network because Wahala there. Call me back if you can, okay? Hi, how are you doing? As your village people may just have sent a bit of the gremlins.
I don't understand. Yeah, come again with your village people.
Yes, no. Me, I have city people. I don't have village people.
Okay. City boy.
Yeah,
Bona
boy's cousin. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, better. Quickly, please.
Yeah. I said the game 3 was a good game.
Yeah.
I was thinking OKC to win Minnesota Timberwolves, but Anthony Edwards is a problem to them.
He is.
Well, I wish them good luck for that, but I don't know anything that makes Timberwolves OKC to get that to win game 3. I mean game 4. That will be the end of that game.
Right.
That will be the end of their series.
Right.
For New York with
Indiana Pacers.
Indiana Pacers. That one I'm still giving it to Indiana Pacers for that one.
All right, you think they will outpace the Knicks? Thank you so much for your call. Thanks for calling back too. As we have 30 seconds to wrap up the show, and those 30 seconds are yours.
Okay, so for me, I would just say congratulations to the new MBBF Secretary General. Amina Manchi is the name. And we're looking to see how much it will help. I saw the former basketball coach for the Nigerian team, the D Tigers, Ayo Bakare, posts her, and he said she's a very disciplined and truthful person, and he hopes she will not be frustrated with what we've had with the league over time. He knows what he also faced as a part of the MBBF and also as a coach of the team. So we wish Amina Amanchi all the best for what she looks to do, having served also in the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Yeah, Azu, thank you so much. I wish you the best too. I really appreciate you taking time to speak to us on the show tonight, and enjoy yourself.
It was a pleasure.
Okay?
It was a pleasure.
All right, guys, let's go for a commercial break.
Send money.
Nigeria Info. Let's talk.